The Desert Wanderer. The desert was silent and vast, though he moved with terrible haste, wicked and fast. For 3 days and 3 nights he ran. It was obvious he was more than a common man. Without shelter, food or water nor rest, this was his stamina test. Then he stopped at dawn, and he thrust his sword into the sand, made a circle with his staff, and took sand in his grasp. He began dancing in circles and chanting. Rain is what he was demanding. Then he stopped his rain dance and quietly kneeled to the earth, summoning the power of his birth. He let the sand slip between his fingers. As it slipped, rain began to flicker, and he drank the moist of the dark clouds above, feeling Mother Earth's care and love. As soon as the sky cleared, vultures were circling above him like bears. He elongated his staff towards the heights, and a burst of chain lightning knocked down a few with its might. Hence there was food. Life has treated him kind and good. The vultures scattered in panic and run to their master. He could feel the coming of a disaster. He resumed his wandering state, walking now slowly at his wake. When not long past, something blackened the sky. It was a great gigantic vulture, a condor's son, followed by a flock of vultures heading down from the rise. He reacted wearily and weaved a spell that turned the clouds to ice. The flock was trapped, and the huge glacier fell onto the sand. It was the great big vulture now stunned and faltered. Avek's hair turned to snakes and summoned the creatures underneath the sand. Vipers and snakes crawled out, and like entangling roots they trapped the vulture's feet, and he was about to do the final thrust with his fire sword at the mast. The great big vulture let out a cry and began to plead for his own life. Please do not harm me, O master of magic. Release my flock from the great ice and do not steal my fate to tragic. For I am a noble and of old kind. I keep my word thou seldom have heard. I will take you to your humankind. Please leave my life. Safe passage through the desert is what I will give. Avek halted and only nodded, and the spell disappeared in an instant. He knew that humankinds are distant. I will hold you to your word, but if you break it, I will break your spine. Now fulfill your promise, and I will not kill you like a swine. The flock was free and made its distance. The great vulture's talons made home into Avek's shoulders and lifted him to a flight. Across the desert the great vulture took him, and spoke while they flew. There is a caravan traveling east. I can only take you as far as the desert's reach. I will take you to an oasis nearby. The caravan will stop there for water, I am sure. Then I would have fulfilled my promise, my word. They flew above the clouds, not to be seen by a caravan of men and camels, and there they bid farewell at the oasis where they ended their travel. Brimshore made a masking spell, and his shoulders and stretcher fell. Where he stood now an old man appeared, with a thick and ragged clothing and a rusty sword and a long beard. He greeted the caravan with praise. Acting a lonely old wanderer, he concealed his glistering gaze. They inquired, "How did you get here, old man?" "I do not know, my son. I was left for dead." They took him in and stationed him in a wagon, not knowing he was the son of the Black Dragon. With the women and children and the weak travelers, his journey with them was warm and far from marvelous. There he slept for days, long sleep from exhaustion. For the use of his powers took a tool. Avek Brimshore tends to be the wiser. Never